Hi everyone, welcome back. In this session, we are going to learn how we can create a basic UI in an Angular application. So this UI will not have any logic yet, and it will just be a static UI with some HTML and CSS components. If you already know how to create UIs in HTML and CSS, you can probably skip this lecture and you can create your own UI. But there might be a few things which will help you later, like how I have designed the UI to take input from the service response, or how I'm going to bind the data later. So let's get into this. You can start watching, and if you think some of the things you already know, you can probably skip or go faster. So what I have done is I have started from my previous lecture and created all my components. So I have student component, enrollment, course, and college. So college is my main page, which will have links to route to a course or enrollment or a student module or page. And then all these pages will have a back button which will route it back to the main college page. So let's start with the college module, and to test it, what I'm going to do is I am going to create each module's UI and CSS and test it separately to see how my UI is looking. So when I'm, let's say, starting with my college module, what I'm going to do is I am going to import the college NCU college in my app.html so that I can see how my college is looking. So if I go in the terminal and serve the page, and go in the browser, so I have my college page working. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to go in my college HTML and start writing some of the HTML. So let's say I write this. So what I have done is I created a container, the CSS I'm going to show you. Then I created a table which has a width of 100%. And I have a row which has 3 cells. Each cell is 33% wide. And the center cell has a heading which is welcome to NCU. After that, in the last cell, I have a div and its class is login. And so for now, what we can do is we can just remove this because routing we are going to do later. For now, just save it, and let's take our CSS for the college module, which I have already copied, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so let's see container, how my container class look like. My container class look like this. It has a width of 100, margin is auto, padding is 0, and then there is a background color. Similarly, if I go and look at my head class, it is center aligned and has a certain color. Similarly, login class is a flex container which is aligned right. A right margin is given and it floats to the right. I think probably I don't probably need this because I'm already using a float. So let's see how this looks. Let's go back in the browser and you see I have this table at the top. Center cell has this, and then I have login and register, which are going to route me to the login page or the register page when I have the routing working. Okay, let's add more stuff to my college. So now I am going to add a few images and will done with my college page. So I'm going to close this div and I'm going to paste some HTML. Okay, let's see what it contains. So I have a banner image and its class is header image. Let's see what it contains. So the image width is 100% and it's center aligned. So the banner will be at the top, which is going to take 100% of the width. After that, I have a few divs. So my first div has a student image and a text under. Again, I'm going to remove this router link for now because we are not yet at the router code. Okay, right. So let's see how the floating div looks like. So floating divs again is a flex div, displays inline block and certain styles. It is taking 25% of the width. Okay, so I think this is pretty common CSS and HTML. Similarly, I have all these images and text under them, and these are all aligned horizontally. And then at the bottom, I have a copyright notice. So now I need these images. So I'm going to copy these and I am going to paste in SRC. So you have to remember the assets needs to go in SRC. I am going to show you what I'm doing. So what I did is I copied assets and there is images directory inside assets and then there are some images. So I have teacher, student, all those images inside this. Now how Angular will know where my assets are? What I'm going to do is I am going to go in angular.json and there is the assets section. Let's remove this for now and I will say my assets are inside src assets and I'm going to save it. So my assets are good. My college HTML looks okay. CSS is there. Let's run it and see what we get. Okay, nice, wonderful. So you see, I have a banner at the top, which is taking 100%. Then at the bottom, I have 4 images. Each image is taking 25% of the screen. and I have a text underneath. Then at the bottom, I have this copyright text, and this is my homepage, right? Nothing works, everything is static at this time. Slowly and slowly, we are going to make all this work with all the dynamic content. So for now, this is all static. Let's go back. So our college module is working. Let's move on to the course module. So to test it, what I'm going to do is now I am actually going to go here and I'm going to change it to course, because now I want my main page to be course so that I can look and see how my course is looking. I will save it. This is not going to work. Why? Because I need to import my course component. So I will say from components course. So I imported it and I am going to declare it here course. Save it and save it, and let's go and see. So now we are at the course page. Now let's start again. So I have some HTML already going. Let me paste it and I'm going to explain it. So what I'm going to do is, let's go to here. I have again a container at the top. I have a heading which says course module, a line break. After that, I have a div, and then I have a selection, which is a drop down. So this is a drop down. Why drop down? Drop down is for what option I want. So for example, I want get all courses. I want get course name from course ID or get course from ID, right? So these options are going to come here from our service. At this time, this is all static, so there is no logic, and that is all at this time. Okay. Now after that, I have a couple of inputs. So my first input is course name. So this is course name. And my second input is course ID, right? After that, I have course credit. This is course credit. So I have three input boxes. Okay. And then I have a button which is going to be my submit button. Okay. And I will close this div. Fine. So just indent it, indent this one, and right. Okay. I'm going to copy the CSS for the course. Paste it here, save it. Let's see how my page looks like. So you see, I will have options, what I want. Then I can enter course name. So now how this is going to work? Let's say you want to add a course. So what you want? You want a course credit and course name, right? And probably course ID. But when you, let's say I want a course name by course ID, right? So you are going to only see course ID text box, and rest two text boxes are going to be invisible. So that's how this is going to work. When let's say you want to suppose say I want a course ID, let's say from course name, so then course name should be visible and rest of the two text boxes should not be visible. So we are going to do all that later. At this time this is all static, and then there is a submit button as well for the request. Now what I'm going to do is here I will just to show you how a global style work. I'm going to have a global style for all my buttons. So I will go back to my application, and if you remember my previous sessions, the style.css is a application wide style. So I added a class CTA, and if I go back to my course HTML, the button has a class CTA and submit. So if I go back to the browser, you will see the button will have a hot pink color or probably a pink. So that's how global styles work. Okay. Now let's move on and finish this page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few more stuff at the bottom, a line break, then a label which says course name. So what I want two columns in my course HTML page. One is going to be the course name and the other going to be the credit. So when I say get me all courses, the first column will have course name and the second column will have course credit, right? Because I need two information. So what I'm trying to create is I'm trying to create two columns which will have heading of course name and course credit, and below that I will have all my dynamic information. So I'm going to create two columns, and after that I am going to create a list what I'm going to get from my REST service. So you see I have a unordered list and then list. Here I am going to have a for loop. So because let's say I get 5 courses from my REST service, what I need is I need a for loop so that this li element repeats itself. And for that we are going to use ng for Angular construct later. For now what I have created is just created two columns, hard coded some value, that's it. And after that I am going to create a copyright at the bottom and a back button. So this is a back button which is going to take me back to my college page, and okay, this is commented, so this is not going to show. Now let's go back to the page, and you see I have heading, course name, course credit, and below that I will get all my course name and course credits. So if you say get me course information from course ID, let's say you get one course Java. So here you will see Java and here you will see its credit. If you get multiple courses, you will see a list of courses and their credits. And when you click the back button, you will go back to the college page. That's how this is all going to work. My other modules are on the same line. I am just quickly going to paste all this. So I'm going to paste my enrollment HTML quickly, and I'm going to paste its CSS. Let's see how all this looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again go here and import enrollment and declare it here. And in my this, I am going to actually enrollment, and that's it. And quickly go and see how my enrollment looks. So I have an enrollment module. There you will be having options. Enrollment options can have either you can get enrollment using roll number, or you can get a enrollment using course ID, right? And below you will see those enrollment informations, like for a certain roll number, what all courses the person or the student has enrolled for, right? So this is going to be our enrollment module. Similarly, the last one is our student module. So let's go back and quickly I'm going to paste my student HTML. So this is my student HTML, and I'm going to quickly paste its CSS, save it, go back to my app, import student, and declare it here. And I think I have not declared college. That's it. And I am going to do the last one, which is my student. Save it and let's see how it looks. So this is my student module. Student module can have a lot of information. I have 5. So it can be name, roll number, enrollment year, email, and then the courses the person is taking, which is going to be a list. So this will be something like, right? So you want multiple courses, Java, microservices, C++, C Sharp, and these all courses will be added when you fill all the information and submit. Similarly, when you are saying get me a course information, let's say get me a student information by, let's say it's his roll number. So you will see roll number, student name, year enrolled, email, and all the courses the student is taking, which is going to be a list. So this will all be filled when our dynamic logic starts working, and the back page will take you back to your college page. So I think this is how we are going to add all the static content in our Angular application. So here what we have learned is how we can add HTML and CSS to our Angular pages, as well as a few other things. For example, how we add assets. So assets, you add assets, and then in the angular.json, you add your location of assets. This is an array. You can have multiple asset locations. For now, I have only one, but you can have multiple locations. So we have seen and learned how we can use assets, how HTML and all these are added, rendered, and tested. So this was all static part of Angular. In my next session, we will dive into the dynamic part of the Angular application. So this is all for now, and I will see you in my next lecture. Bye for now.